Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Amagati, your family life coach. I know I say this all the time, but honestly, I am your family life coach. Parenting in a foreign culture is hard. So if you're an immigrant, parenting in a culture that is different from the culture you were born in, your work is double, right? You have double the task because you are navigating your own cultural experiences and then raising a child in a culture that you are still learning yourself. So I know it's hard, and that is why we're here. We're doing parenting together. So if you have any questions, there's something that you're thinking, oh, Amma, can you research and shed some more light? I don't know it all. I'm also learning, and as I learn, I'm teaching, right? And so we're growing and we're doing this together. So if you think of any topics or you have any suggestions, or maybe you have some insight that you want to share, please use the comment box to do that. I will read the comments, I will respond, and then we can address whatever this issue is together. All right. So over the last few weeks, I've been doing recordings on emotional intelligence and talking about why it's important that our children are emotionally intelligent, because if they are, they will do well in life, in all areas of life, right? And we also talked about how they cannot learn to be emotionally intelligent on their own. Neither can they learn it from school or the Sunday school or the church or wherever they find themselves, right? It is not their job. It's your job as a parent to help coach your child, help your child become emotionally stable, in control of their emotions. That does not mean that they're just bashful little kids who don't have a word or don't have anything to say. What you're doing is helping them manage their emotions, understanding their triggers, understanding how to control those emotions, so when they grow up, they would be great friends, great associates, great spouses, and great parents to their own children. So these topics are so important, as you can tell from for the reasons that I have given. So there is a challenge. So if you have a child who is strong-willed, how do you help that child in their journey to become emotionally intelligent? Because those are the children who are usually fierce, right? And they're courageous, and they almost come across as stubborn, and it's hard to break them, because when they make up their mind that this is what they want, they will stick with it, and there's nothing anyone can do to get them out of that. So they're children like that, and I want to acknowledge that. And I know that sometimes parenting children like that and also getting them to control their own emotions can be really tough. And their parents, there's research that talks about sometimes you need to watch what you're feeding them, because sometimes some of that, almost like the temper tantrums that they throw, and some of those just moodiness and all the other things that some kids experience, sometimes it's just their diet that is off, right? So we also need to be mindful of what we are feeding our children and putting into them. But some children by nature are strong-willed. They just know what they want and they stick with it. They want to be in charge, they want to be in control. So how do you handle a child like that, right? So I teach in a school as well. As of this recording, I also teach in a school, and we there's a situation with a child, with this one particular child who in the past used to be in my class maybe a few years ago. And when this child makes up his mind that this is what he's going to do, no teacher can talk him out of it. And it was so hard because it kind of took away the energy and excitement from the class, because you are trying to get this child to flow with the class and do what the class is doing. But this child has made up his mind that he's not going to do it. And it used to bother me, because as an African mother, I'm thinking, I felt like he was getting away with things, and it just bothered me a whole lot, and I couldn't reach this child until one day I was reading an article, and the article suggested that when you're working with a strong-willed child, you want them, it becomes a power struggle between you and them, right? And this article suggested that one of the things you can do is to give the child choices and let them feel that they are in charge of whatever the situation is. Okay. And I'm telling you, since I learned that trick, it's been mind blowing for me. It's helped me in so many situations, even with children who are not strong-willed, just children who are just flat out being naughty or just having a bad day. So this is the trick. What you do is give them an option, right? So for example, there's a child sitting. So let's use you as a parent, because now you're dealing with your child. It's not in a classroom situation, right? So you're dealing with your child, and maybe you've told your child to, it's bedtime, get up, go brush your teeth, wash up, whatever, go to sleep, right? And the child, you could tell that is when the struggle is starting, because this child doesn't want to go to sleep. And so now there's a cry, there's a tantrum about to build because this child wants to go at their own time. You've kind of probably said it initially, nothing happened. You said it again, nothing happened. And now your heart is boiling because you're about to go off on your child, right? What you could do, and which is a trick that I learned from this article, is you offer them a choice. Okay. So here are your choices. I have asked you, so now I'm talking to this child, right? I have asked you to get up and go to sleep. You haven't done it. So I'm going to give you two choices. You can choose not to listen to me and not go to bed and lose whatever privileges like TV time for 1 week. Or you can listen to mommy or daddy and go to bed now and still maintain your privileges. It's your choice. You use the exact same phrase. You leave the power to make that choice to them. You go to bed now, you keep all your privileges. Or you refuse to go to bed, you don't have screen time, TV time, whatever it is for the next 1 week. It's your choice. And then this whole time you're maintaining your tone, right? So you're not high pitched, you're not coming across like you're about to confront them. You're just matter of fact stating that. You go to sleep now, you keep your benefits or your rewards or whatever it is that you're rewarding them with. Or you choose not to go to bed now and you lose all your screen time for the next, starting tomorrow morning, for the next week or so. And then you casually walk away. I'm telling you, watch them make that decision. Because what you did is make them feel in control of whatever the situation is. And because they do feel in control, they are going to do what you said. I've used it with so many students in my classroom, and it seems to work. I'm not sure even, the science behind all of that, but it works when you give them the control and also give them the opportunity to make choices, of course in a safe environment, right? But you always you kind of, for example, like your child wants to go to school dressed up, want to dress themselves up, and you are insisting that they wear this one particular outfit, that you have out for them, and they're refusing to wear it. You give them the choices, give them two or three choices, and let them choose. Or they want to dress themselves, they don't want you to dress them, and it's taking more than 5 minutes and you really need to go and they're wasting your time. Let them have the ability to make that decision. And so strong-willed children want to be independent, they want to do things for themselves. So sometimes you just need to allow that to happen. You have to pick and choose your battles, right? But you're also making sure that you're not breaking their spirit, because this strong willfulness, or I'm not even sure what the right term would be, right? The strong-willed child usually has qualities that sets them up to be leaders in the future, but then they also tend to blow up emotionally. So you kind of want to guide that for them, but you don't want to break their spirit. And some parents are so afraid that they're going to break their children's spirit that they take this completely hands off and don't want to engage. But you don't want that. So just give them a choice. Let them feel like they are making their own choices. The next thing you want to do is to set clear boundaries for your child. Okay, so setting those clear boundaries means, for example, we are going to the mall and you've had experiences with, especially if your child is younger, like 4 or 5, right? Usually it's when you get those issues. So you're at the mall, and let's say your son or your daughter is just running ahead of you and they don't want you to hold their hands, and you try holding their hands and they're throwing a tantrum. Before you get into the mall, you can set a clear boundary that says, okay, we're going into the mall. I'm going to allow you to walk without holding my hands. But you and I are going to have this agreement on some kind of signal, right? So maybe when I do this, it means you need to stop running and you come right next to me. When I shake my head, it means maybe you've gone too far and you need to come closer to me. But I'm going to allow you to walk without holding my hands. You set that boundary. Immediately you do not come. Like immediately I realize you're not following my rules and you do not come when I signal you to come. I'm going to hold your hands the rest of the time in the mall. You set your boundaries, right? So you're not giving in to that behavior. You're saying that, okay, I'm going to allow you a certain spans of freedom, right? And you go do what you're doing, but when I rope you back in, I need you to come back to me, right? And so when you're in the mall and your child starts running off and you do the head shake or you do whatever thing you both agree on and your child is not coming back to you, you have to be consistent. You're going to walk to your child, grab their hands and hold their hands because that was the agreement. So consistency with a child like that is so important. You cannot, and if it's for every child, it's in parenting. You cannot say one thing and not follow through the same thing over and over again because kids will take advantage of you if you are not being consistent. So you want to be consistent. Okay. The last step I want to leave you with a strong-willed child is to make sure that you are having positive discipline with your child. Now, watch the word I use, positive discipline, which means that there is such a thing as negative discipline, right? And so, if you are coming from a culture where we believe in spanking or hitting your child as a negative form of punishment, that is not what you want to do with a strong-willed child. You're breaking the child's spirit when you do that. You want positive discipline. What does positive discipline looks like? Positive discipline, it's you having positive interactions with your child. And then once you've established that connection with your child through play, through telling jokes, through all of that, then you have this connection where you've built with your child so that when they do something wrong, you can point out what they did and talk through what they did and helping the child realize what they did wrong and saying, you are not going to repeat this next time. Right? So, let's say I told my husband this the other day. It's not my original. I read it from a book. But one of the things that I learned recently was for you to give a negative advice or give like have a negative interaction with your child, consciously have 5 positive interactions first and then give them one. So it's 5 to 1, right? So if you are not playing with your children, it's important that you do because it's connection. Children connect, especially smaller children connect by play. So you want to play with them, go get ice cream, go walk around, do something fun. That way, when you come back to say something negative, you've already established this rapport with your child. You've established this connection with your child. So now you can come back and tell them what they did wrong. So you want to make sure that as much as you can, as much as it lies in your power, have 5 positive interactions to 1 negative interaction. Okay, so I know it's a lot to unpack, but I'm also looking at the time and our time is over. So there'll be more videos coming your way, but I hope that something I've shared within this few minutes has been impactful and that is going to help you in your parenting journey. I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for sharing, for telling others that we're doing parenting together. Again, if you're an immigrant in another country, I feel your pain. It is hard. And I'm rooting for you. I am your family life coach. Let me know how I can help. Okay. And I have some exciting news coming down the road. We might do a few Zoom classes together. So I hope that you might be interested and join once that happens. But for now, keep following and keep listening to and subscribing to my channel and sharing. I look forward to our time together again soon. Thank you so much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.